I know it's a very business.
All right, I'm going to call, I'm going to call this meeting order 8:40. The clerk, please call roll.
Chairman Cormier,
Present.
Councilor Harden,
Present.
Councilor Boone.
Present.
All right, our first amendment of business 10834, an ordinance to amend the code of the city of Gardner, chapter 423, entitled Hacking and Other Carriages. The city council referred to committee 1107. Is there any discussion on this ordinance? We can start with Chief Magazine, who gave your input in the package.
This is just kind of, I read through the statute. This is pretty much just a mirroring state statute. We just, city code will be able to supersede state statute. So, ride sharing, Uber or Lyft or don't fall under the same umbrella as Hackney or cab stands and things like that. It's just the way the law's written. So.
Any questions, Councilor Boone, Councilor Harden?
I guess I'm supportive of it, to follow it, and I'm glad to make the motion to send it to the full council. But what about, what if we wanted to get taxi drivers in, taxi business in here again? Because I might be mistaken, but I heard in the past it was too expensive, too much red tape, et cetera, and maybe that's the way it is, and I don't understand the taxi business enough, and I don't know if the chief or somebody can respond to that.
I can try. I've been here for, obviously, I've seen cab stands come and go. It seems with the advent of Uber and Lyft, things have kind of taken away from like a centralized location to be decentralized. Like, you go on your app and I need a drive an Uber from wherever to take, and then just get picked up. I'm not sure. This is just the way things are evolving. Cab stands do seem to be kind of a thing, kind of moving away from that. Fitchburg and Munster still have cab stands. We just haven't. I think the last one was Smile Bob. He had tried to run it. He had had it before and then let it go and then tried to resurrect it again, and it just didn't seem to get a lot of traction. With other public transportation too, that does run, so it does kind of offset the need. I mean, I've had citizens, come to me, hey, is there any chance of a cab stand? Or I think you need somebody to try to stand that business up. And then, as for the red tape, I mean, we can always look at, looking to see where we can amend things or streamline things to kind of make things less cumbersome for businesses. I just haven't heard I haven't received any interest in a cab stand recently, or I haven't heard of any yet, so.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
I have a question. In the ordinance, it does state that we must do query checks, correct, especially for sex offenders?
For Hackney, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We do all that stuff. We basically license them, so they receive like a Hackney license.
Okay.
So that's part of our review process. We do a criminal records check, sex offender, all that other stuff. Driver history, so if they have 2 speeding tickets or they're unsafe driving, they wouldn't probably get a license. There's mechanisms in the ordinance that allow us to deny somebody for that. Ride share is a different animal, if you will, altogether.
Okay.
I believe the rideshare companies do background checks
This is
themselves.
yes.
But you got to rely on the company to handle that.
Right. All right.
Yeah, the ride shares aren't like under technical local control, they're under state control umbrella, whereas a Hackney and cab stand will get under local control here. But it seems like we're moving away from that, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance and send it to the full council.
I'll second it.
Motion by Councilor Boone, second by Councilor Harden to move the ordinance to the full council for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business. Any new business? Councilor Boone.
The only new business I want to ask, if you might recall, on West Street, in front of the hen house, the parking in front of that big red rooster obstructs view of us coming out of Monadnock and Ash Street. It's really, you gotta really go out there. I've mentioned this a couple times, I'm hoping that the traffic commission can bring that up.
We did say we were gonna put that on that.
Yeah, we talked about the stop sign too, we think we took care of the stop sign, right? We were-
But the stop signs are there,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
just that when you're trying to get out, you've gotta go far out, and the traffic's, coming down West Street pretty quick.
Sure.
Trying to take a left or.
Now, I'm not familiar, does the hen house have any type of agreement with parking across the street at all? Like I'm not familiar with that, if they do.
I think people do, but I think in the past, the businesses have kind of complained about it.
Sure. I mean, it is obviously a private lot across the street. I just didn't know if they had an agreement or not. Obviously during peak hours it does, if you drive down West Street, it's packed, like both sides of the road, down to the no parking zone. On that same side, on the west side, it does turn no parking, but it is packed every morning. We could look at the width of the road and to see if the sight lines and see if, it doesn't warrant making some more no parking areas. The only issue with that is making no parking areas is, is it going to reduce the ability for the business owner to get customers in.
I guess my only argument, there was never parking there until we did all that crazy reconstruction of the front.
Oh, it's been a few years.
Last summer.
The sidewalk change, yeah, I thought you were talking about the well, when they had an island in there, when they redid that island, that was gonna be a disaster.
Oh, that's insane.
They did it without the plans, so they ended up having to remove it because it wasn't part of the state plan. But yeah, that's a tough intersection. We can look at trying to come up with another plan for.
Yeah, I appreciate it if you take a look at it.
We can-
That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for all that you do and have done and continue to do. Not an easy job, I assume, so thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity, and my door is always open, like I've said. If anybody has anything, please feel free.
Appreciate that. If there's no new business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I make a motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion by Councilor Hart, second by Councilor Boone, to adjourn. All in favor? Aye, opposed? Carried, adjourned.
We could probably
That was long.